So hello, welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time. I thought I'd just jump on and see how this goes, to be honest. I've not particularly driven much in the 720 at Kyalami, so I thought I'd just see what issues the car's got, try and do a setup within this hour video, and just put another video on the channel. I've had a little run in the car, maybe 2 minutes. I was just waiting for a delivery, just jumped on, and yeah, the car is a handful, so let's see if we can get into those 139s and yeah, just see how I go about solving issues with the car. As you all know, I'm doing a lot of renovation work at a property of mine, and it's just really is keeping me away from doing any sim racing, so I thought I'd just take the opportunity today just to jump on and just come back to the channel and do a little bit. One of the techniques that I use, especially when I'm doing setups for other drivers, is using this practice session, a race custom weekend, and I'll show you how I use it really. I just do the hour-long practice session. I'll probably run 2 hour-long practice sessions. If I've got enough time, I will do some racing with the setup online, or even take part in the actual race itself. But it does take up a lot of time, as you can see. The aggression skill level down the bottom there, I think 98's a pretty good level. I think on a few occasions I am starting to beat the best drivers by maybe half a second now, so maybe that does need increasing, but it's certainly a good goal to aim for. I think 98%, and the aggression from the drivers. I think since this new update, this new patch that we've got, I think the AI has been tweaked a little bit, so it's been quite nice to see the difference in how the AI approach driving the circuit, how they protect the line as well. There's been a few changes within the AI, but yeah, this car does generally feel quite light. I read something the other day that someone thought that the force feedback had changed slightly, but jumping in this car, I've done quite a bit in the Porsche and the Ferrari, and they generally run around 14 degrees caster. Well, in the McLaren here, it only seems to be able to run 8 degrees of caster, which is really low, and that would certainly make the Ferrari and the Porsche feel very light as well. Generally, I like about 14 in the wheel, so that you might need to increase the force feedback a little bit for this car, I think, just to gain a little bit more feedback from the wheel, I guess. So I believe this is actually Jensen's Jensen Button races in this car now. Whether it has anything to do with Jensen's Team Rocket, I've got no idea, but I'm sure this is a livery I've seen him driving recently. Yeah, version 1.5.4, and I think 1976, the year I was born, and 68, just a random number. But yeah, we're just going to jump straight in. Obviously, if we go to the options and look at the controls, you can see what force feedback I'm running. The wheel is at 480 degrees, as it is with the Porsche, the Ferrari, sorry. So yeah, it feels quite good with this force feedback. Maybe need to increase it a tiny bit, but I'll just do that on my wheel. I can make a few adjustments there, but we'll see how the car feels. Just going into the setup then, I'm just going to load the aggressive setup. Just getting loads of messages there. I wish I'd turn that off now. So yeah, we're just going to start out with a basic setup. I do like to run 50 litres of fuel, and obviously in this session I'd use brake discs, one for anything of around 90 minutes long, brake discs 2 for around 3 or 4 hours, I think. And they're going to get really annoying, those pop-ups. So as you can see, looking at the setup, there are a few things that stand out, especially the rear end being harder than the front. I'm not particularly happy with the bump stops, how they're set up. I think 26 bump and 14 rebound is just the wrong way around. The rears look alright, I'd be quite happy with running those. And the car is set really quite high, I think. I don't think it needs to be this high. And obviously we can close out some of these brake ducts a little bit, at least initially. And you see the aero balance there, 7% at the front. That's a huge amount on the front end, to be honest. So I definitely think the rear end's going to be very loose. And we'll see how the PSI goes. Let's just do an outlap, see what the car feels like. Get the tyres into some sort of temperature. I do need to get a new headset. I'm sure that comes across on the audio as well. So just get past this guy. Yeah, the wheel does feel very light. Oh, and instantly getting a bit of oversteer. We'll just bring that brake balance a bit more forward. Nice bit of front end grip through there though. I do like the rasp from this engine. Whoa. And that is definitely one of the things with the McLaren wheel. If you go into any sort of spin, it's very hard to keep hold of the wheel if you get a bit of a drift on, because of the wheel lock. You just can't feed the wheel. Yeah, it's definitely it's a very twitchy car. Really on the edge of grip. Definitely at the rear end. Just sliding everywhere. But temperatures are nowhere near, so tyre temps. Yeah, just very loose at the rear. Oh. See if we can get a clean lap in. I think temperatures are going to go a little bit too high, I think. Oh, stop. I'm just not very confident on the brake at all. It's got a nice bit of front end grip through there though, it really has. Just struggling to get it to slow down. Very ginger through there. Right, let's try it again. Long way off the pace. Just no confidence whatsoever in that rear end. So let's start making a few changes. Definitely too much temperature through the front. So let's drop that down. Somewhere around there, I think. We're only into the second lap, really. Lots of instability at the rear, so just adding a little bit more camber at the rear to get some more grip. But yeah, as you can see from the caster at the front, you can only... I'd like to add more caster, but it's just not an option. Traction control, I think we're just lacking grip rather than reducing the traction control. Obviously we've got a strange brake balance going on there, that might have been contributing to something. But yeah, I think I'm just going to try and change the balance of the car a little bit. Definitely bring that forward quite a bit, so we're not locking out through the rear. Just increase the front suspension so the rear end's a little bit softer. A little bit more rear grip from the rear of the car. And yeah, I'm just not happy with that at all. I'm not happy with it being... I don't think it needs to be so high. Let's just go for 22s all around at the front. I don't think having the front end so much stiffer is helping, and especially the bump and the rebound's just the wrong way around. I think we'll just lower that a little bit. See how we go from there. 6.6, so getting a little bit less influence on the front. See if that gives us a bit more stability at the rear. Try and get out ahead of this other pack. Just want a lot more confidence through here, really. Obviously the tyres are really cold at the minute, so definitely, well, it's a lot hard to say at the minute. Definitely doesn't feel as pointy now. Let's see if it gives us a bit more confidence. Yeah, it just doesn't want to slow down. Whoa! Still lots of oversteer. BMW's cursing me. Just going to bring that traction control down one. It's a long way off still. It's better. Just want to hold this lap together really, get a banker lap in, somewhere we can build from. That's somewhere to build from. Still lots of sliding around at the rear. Oh, there's a huge amount of time lost there. Yeah. So let's have a look at this setup. Definitely feels like we've lost some of the front end grip because we've changed that balance a bit. Definitely add that traction control in. Maybe even soften out the front end a tiny bit, just the bump. We'll go with that one as well, just to try and get a little bit more grip from the front end. And I don't really want to affect the turning, but at no point do I think front of the car's scraping too much, to be honest. I just want the car to be a little bit more nimble through some of the corners. Still 65, 66, 67 point down the bottom of the aero variation. I'll just wait for this little gap. Let's just adjust those just at the rear. I thought they were getting just not reaching pressures really during that second lap. Oh, let's try and get out of here. Still a much lighter wheel than I would like. Really dirty on the exit if you come out of the pit lane. Just took too much of that really. Just the initial turning there feels like it's going to oversteer instantly, and then nothing happens. Don't really want to drop down to second through there. Yeah, I think I was a little bit ginger through there on that first lap. Lost a lot of time, so don't think that's really representative of where we are at the minute. Still feels like we're sliding a bit. Very wide. Just no grip at the front. Might have to just soften that anti-roll bar a bit. Just adjust that brake balance a tiny bit as well. Yeah, just still sliding through there. Too much sliding. So we're getting a bit of power oversteer. Front tyres look like they're getting a bit too hot as well, sliding about. So deep. Lost all that time. Just look at the colour the front wheels were going there. Let's return to the garage. So we're getting somewhere with this setup, I think. So you can see the tyre temperatures, they're not actually too bad actually. I thought they would be in the 90s, but we've got 80, 82, 85. So it's not too bad, the difference, just 3 degrees really between the inner and outer. Sorry, like in between like the outer, the middle and the inner, not many degrees difference. That's not too bad. So the rear end's still sliding, especially during that first one to, I'd probably say third corner. We're still getting a lot of sliding from the rear end. Tyre temperature wise, probably alright all round really. Just increase that one, just one click on that one. Just losing that front end grip, so maybe just making the car a little softer at the front. Adjusted the balance there a little bit as well, but the rear end is still just a little bit too loose, I think. I'll just bring that down again, get that as close as we can, the red line to the yellow line, and I'm just going to soften out this rear end a little bit. I do like the bumps. The rebound should be higher than the bump. I know we did that whole video on the effects of the dampers, but I think it was pretty inconclusive, to be honest. So I'm just going to give it 5 difference at the rear. Just soften it a tiny bit. I really would like more rear downforce, but I don't really want to stop the car rotating. I almost want, I want to leave the rotation, but those front tyres were just getting a little bit too hot, so I'm just going to open that brake duct. So yeah, I don't think there's much else we can do really. Might just reduce that preload as well, just getting a little bit of oversteer on corner exit. See how that goes. But still, I'd like to see a 139, a really low 139. Still a bit disappointed that there's never any penalties for going over the white line on the pit exit. I might just have to soften out the fast bump as well. I think this is one of the only cars you can actually have a look at the brake temperatures as well. There we go. So very hot at the front. No temperature at all really at the rear. So let's see how that changes. Might be able to close out those rear ones a little bit. Oh, as soon as I came off the power then. Oh, that snaps the wrist a bit. Yeah, I'd like to get them tyres warm first. just feels like it's bouncing a little bit as you come through there. That felt better. Come on. Surprised we lost so much on the exit there. Oh, just sliding. Call that time. Oh, just turn. All at the front of the car, just no grip. Oh, yeah, just no grip at all at the front. really did feel. Let's get the car rotating more. I think because we've changed the balance, we can bring that down a tiny bit. So I want a little bit more rotation now. Yeah, it is a lottery sometimes when you start going through these things. Just changing little bits here and there. Let's just wait for that to come past. But yeah, it just doesn't feel as precise in some corners. It feels like there's a lot of understeer. I think it's believing that there's grip there. The second gear is a really tall gear as well. Well, the first gear is really short. Just not got the exit, carried too much speed into it. Just wasn't committed. Yeah, I just didn't attack that properly at all. Quicker, but not enough. Yeah, it just feels loose again. Just feels no confidence in the rear of the car, but feels a little bit better on the turning. I just want a little bit more confidence in that rear end. Don't think that's going to help. Feels like we're just bouncing a bit as well. Just soften out the suspension a little bit. Just all around soften it out a bit, just to try and stop that skipping, but still want a little bit more stability through the rear. Let's see where that stands us with 15 more minutes to go. It's always skittish with low PSI in the tyres. Just doesn't feel like it's rotating. Maybe I will have to lower that front. Just change the brake balance a tiny bit there. Just doesn't want to turn. Feels like the front grip's gone. That's my mistake. Yeah. I'd be surprised if we better it with this setup. Feels horrible. It's like it's oversteering. Surely that can't be from softening out. Let's put things back to where they were, because that's made a really bad difference to the car, softening it out so much. It's something like that. And it just feels like the car's understeering and corner entry, waiting ages for the grip. And then we're oversteering when we're sort of halfway through the corner. So maybe the car's just rotating too much at lower speeds. So I'm just going to increase that preload. Like I said, we're understeering, so I'm going to reduce the anti-roll bar. And the oversteer's probably just down to a lack of grip, cornering grip. So I'm just trying to counteract here, there and everywhere really to find a good balance, but I want the car to rotate. So we've got 8.4 at the front now. So those make a huge difference, just those clicks. Look at the difference that makes. So I might just leave it at 51, see how that rotates. Just spend the last 10 minutes just trying to get to grips with how that feels. We know there's time to be made in that last sector. Just need to get that balance right. It's like drifting. Feels good on the opening lap, this. Not the best. Just not got that corner out yet. See what we can do. Come on now, Dre. Pretty happy with that, especially with 40 litres of fuel on board. Oh, that took some time coming. So there we go, a quite inconclusive video about the McLaren 720S. Not particularly one of my favourites. It just seems to be suffering with a few issues here, there and everywhere really. Doesn't particularly feel planted at the rear, doesn't particularly feel like you've got a lot of grip at the front either. It's a pretty tough car to get to grips with, I think. I need to spend a lot more time in this car just to understand where you can find the grip. Just seems to be lacking. So yeah, sorry it's been such a long time since the last video. Hopefully I can thin this down. I've been filming now for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So hopefully I'll put something together into a little bit of a shorter video. Let's just return to the garage. As for the setup, I think it was struggling towards the end there on them tyres. Just glance over it really, take from it what you will. There's been a lot of time spent. Don't particularly think it's the best setup. But yeah, not particularly spent a lot of time in this car. I think it's struggling at the rear. I think I put that back to brake ducts too. Just felt like the rear end, the tyres were just getting too hot, and then leave it at that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Ciao for now.